And good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to a special edition of Indigo Inspire Live here on Instagram. We got, as you can tell, we got the holiday music coming in and making sure we get you prepared for a great night of music, as well as a great discussion tonight with our very special guest, the one and only Ray Chew will be joining us in the building. In the meantime, I'm bringing on, you know who we're bringing on. We don't know who he is. Listen, my co-host, the one and only Sherman Williams from Gospel Music Buzz, is coming into the room.
What's happening, family? What's happening?
Listen, those of you who are coming in, you haven't seen us for a bit, we want you to go here and share this live. It's going to be an amazing conversation tonight with Ray Chew talking about the Night of Inspiration at Carnegie Hall, which is, can we say what it is, dude? What is it?
Sold out.
Sold out.
That's what it is.
It's sold all the way out. You can't get a ticket to even park the car.
Crazy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe y'all might be out there scalping tickets, but I ain't selling mine. So if you scalping, I ain't selling mine. I'm just saying.
Bruh, there are no tickets to be had, and nobody's called for any tickets. So we want to welcome you guys into the special edition of the Indigo Inspire Live show here. We're usually on Thursdays, and we've been taking a little break because we've both been doing separate projects. But we are here tonight together to celebrate an amazing night of music that's going to be like par excellence. And executive producer Ray Chew and executive producer Vivian Chew from Chew Entertainment. Once again, I mean, on a level that of music that's going to be just absolutely breathtaking. Yeah. And so to be in there to experience this, for those of you who've already gotten your tickets, we cannot wait to just experience it together. And so I'm sure there will be no phones. You will not be able to go live. So we hope that you guys will have gotten your tickets. You'll be there. And we are really excited to be able to talk with Ray in a few minutes about this amazing production and some of his work. Just his musical CV is just like, it's on a whole different level. So I'm really, excited to even talk with him, just, from not just a professional basis, but also as far as just talk with him about his just musical prowess. It's just incredible. So right now we haven't been together a while, so there's so much stuff going on within the music industry, what's happening on the charts, and let's dig in a little bit, Sherman. So back over to you.
Sure, not a problem. We can jump into this real quick. So I know right now we have a few other events that's going to be kind of closing us out in the year. I know we have Doe, a Night of Clarity, that's going to be kicking off on the 10th. And they're going to be in New York. I know they're going to be in New York, Philly, Chicago, a few various locations. So I'm excited about that for sure. And then, BCW, Brian Courtney Wilson, transitions toward 2023, but they're making a first stop to kind of kick things off. And that's going to be December 18th at Sony Hall. So I'm super excited about that. Definitely going to be in the building for that. Had my ticket sitting on that for quite a while, since back in October. So, we're ready and excited to kind of get into that. So that's kind of what's happening there. I know Media Base released their top 10 end of year gospel charts as well. A lot of notables are on there as well too for that chart as well. Pastor Mike, CC, bunch of individuals that's going to be on there. So definitely check that out. And it's an exciting time. It's a happy time. It's an exciting time. The holiday seasons always bring about that joy, always bring about, sometimes it's joy, sometimes it's other, contemplation and thinking and all of that. So what we decided to do, we started our Message of Cheer campaign, which, people have been submitting videos, kind of sharing their cherished Christmas moments and so forth. And, just what the holiday means to them. We've been releasing a video or two every day on all our social platforms. So definitely, they should go ahead and check that out. And that's about it for mine. I think I saw Ray just jumped in there. So, yeah.
Absolutely. We're going to bring him in here shortly. But I wanted to go back to BCW for a second. He gave somebody an interesting birthday gift. So we're not going to let that slide.
Yes, he did. He sang happy birthday on the show for my wife, and she was super ecstatic about that. And part of that birthday present was also getting her tickets to the show. But he sang happy birthday impromptu. I was just asking for a happy birthday shout out, like, hey, can you give her? And he just broke out singing. I was like, all right, so there we go. So
Listen,
that was
points for you. Check
all
that
all
off the
across
box.
all across the board.
All across the board. So we definitely want to thank you so much, Brian, for doing that. You really made her heart so glad, and
Yeah,
you helped your boy score some points. So there you
pretty
go.
much, pretty much.
There, and thank you so much to JoJo for making that interview possible too. We really appreciate you as well. In the spirit of thankfulness, before we bring Ray on, I really want to take an opportunity for those of you who are watching, and please, you come in, make sure you share this live as well. But for those of you watching the replay, which you all do,
Hmm.
to say thank you to those of you
Yes,
who've been supporting the Collab Show. We have
indeed.
been doing this for going on, I can't believe it's going on 2 years.
Oh
And
wow, yes, it
to
has.
go, yeah, so to go to um, Thanksgiving without thanking you all for supporting what we do, our love for independent artists, our love for gospel music industry, our love for all genres, and the fact that you allow us to take time out of your lifetime
Hmm.
space continuum to join us here and just support, because you also love what we bring to the table. On behalf of Sharon and myself, we was honestly and truly want to say thank you so much
Indeed,
for
thank you.
supporting us here on the Collab Show. And we want you guys to have experienced just an abundant blessings in your lives. And we just wanted to make sure we were not remiss in just saying thank you. And we truly do appreciate your support.
Indeed.
So without further ado, I think we're going to bring him into the room if he is ready to come on. Let's see. Ray Chew, if you are ready to come in the building, we are so excited to have you on the show.
Hey,
Dear,
what's up?
Hey,
wait, give me a second to kind of just take in all that is the one and only Ray Chew. And shout out to your lovely wife, Vivian, as well, who's
Yes,
watching
yes,
from the side. And I know you guys are in the thick of the production for this weekend.
yes,
We cannot wait. I mean, we are really in high anticipation for what it's going to be. We're all going to experience together. And
absolutely.
yeah. So what is the two words that we can shout out about this event? Is what?
so
The two words. Hey, listen. It's inspire. That's one we share. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Inspiration. Night of inspiration. That's
Yeah.
night and inspiration. How about that?
And
Yes.
what we were gonna say as well too is sold out. That's the other two
Oh
words we were gonna
yes,
say.
definitely.
Sold out.
Sold
Well,
out.
yes, yeah, that is
If-
great.
And if your
That's a
mind
wonderful.
wasn't made
Man.
up to get tickets, it's too late. It is too late.
Oh
So
man.
Ray, I mean, I know you have a limited amount of time to be with us tonight, but we want to thank you so much for carving out time to talk with us about this weekend. It's a lot of hard work that goes into a production like this, particularly since reading all the information about how it started and the fact that we had to put everything on pause because everybody was on pause for the pandemic, and now to be able to come back again, to be able to do this again in such a high level, um, through that process of okay, we're going to do this. You're talking with your wife, you're talking with your team, and we're going to do this in 2022.
Mhm.
What was the thought process behind that? What did you want to do differently that what you hadn't done before, particularly what we've all experienced over these past couple of years?
I think we as just we the whole purpose in my journey is to feed the human spirit. So if we use that that phrase feed, when you're looking for a meal, that's a meal is right now. So
Yeah.
the meal I'm serving up is right now, and
Yeah.
people need to be fed right now. People have been, they've been starving for this type of thing for a while. People wanted that connection with the human spirit, And
Yeah.
so that's what we're doing, man. We're feeding the human spirit, and I think people want something good. You can, when you're being fed, McDonald's is a meal, but that ain't what you really need.
Come
That
on
is,
now.
No,
you know what I mean?
McDonald's is fast food. Come on,
Exactly. No,
we know the nutrient, we know the nutrient density, and that's kind of pretty low. But you
that's
are
right.
serving
We
up
want to
a
feed you something good, something, spiritually nutritious,
yeah,
and we're gonna and it's gonna be a gourmet meal, as a matter of fact.
yeah,
I like
man,
it. I
bro,
like it.
you serving up courses, bro. You are serving up musical courses. That's what you're doing.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, and the wonderful people that we have coming. So I'm gonna just look on my list because I got, as you can see, I got my computer up
Hmm.
here, and I'm working my keyboards are right here. My whole studio. Let you take a little
Wow.
gander here.
Phenomenal,
Nice.
phenomenal.
This is
Nice.
my lab, and
Yeah.
so I sit in here and just cook up all kinds of wonderful things. So I was cooking up. We got Jacob Lusk now from American Idol, first season. When I did my first season at American Idol, that was season 10, I think it was, and he's one of the finalists. What an incredible voice, and he's taking off with his new group right now, so he's relevant, and he's got something
Yeah.
cooking. Y'all, please look him up. Jacob Lusk is in this group, and they are like taking off. Hezekiah Walker,
Yeah.
Erica
Yeah.
Campbell,
Yeah.
Shirley Caesar, Jacqueline Carr, Ozzy Schwartz, Cantor Ozzy Schwartz,
Yes.
Pastor Ian Johnson,
Wow.
Anthony Hamilton. It's taking my breath away right now. Let me keep going.
Yeah.
Donald Lawrence, and with Brittany Stewart, and oh my goodness, and then we come back with Lauren Elena, who is another dancer with with another American Idol alum, and her career is taken off in country music.
Yeah.
Lauren Elena, and she's a rising star in country music. Man, we got Ty Tribbett, Regina Bell.
Yes.
Come on, man!
That's stacked. That's stacked.
And then we're gonna do one of the things again about touching the human spirit. We want to speak to one of the things I say that I borrowed from our some of our wonderful messengers of the '60s is that if somebody is suffering, then we're all suffering. If somebody's we're all of one body, and so there's suffering all over the world. And yes, in parts of Africa and the Middle East, Syria, and right now one of the messages that touched us is, with the Ukraine. And
Yes.
one of my fellow Dancing with the Stars friends, he was stuck over there, Max Smirkovsky, and his brother Val. So Val is we're gonna do a tribute to the people of the Ukraine.
Wow.
When we do a tribute to the people of Ukraine, that's a tribute to the people of the world. Like I said, it's still one body.
Yes.
We're all
Indeed.
we're all part of this.
Yes.
All
When
part of the
people
human
think
race.
it's separate, they're wrong. If people think it's separate, they're wrong. And don't get me to start preaching here. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
That's humanity, man.
Tonight,
That's humanity right
tonight
there.
is celebrating what you and Vivian and the vision that you have put together and what God has given you in this present time in 2022. You are not here, and both of you are not here for no reason.
That's
so the fulfillment of that purpose is exactly what we're celebrating tonight. It's not just about the night of inspiration, but it's the collaboration as a husband and wife team. It's collaboration of the spirit that you bring with Chew Entertainment itself and the high excellence that comes along with it. And that really should not just be, we're not going to brush over that. I mean, like we can, there are bullet points and things we can ask that traditionally people ask, but it's traditionally our interview style. We really want to get to know the whole person because we know the whole person is, the extension or the exhibiting of what people see talent-wise is really just an extension of who the person is on the inside.
That's right. That's right.
So I want to turn.
And thank you for those words. Again, back with my thought process. This is a pivotal moment in the show, but it carries along the spirit. Again, if some of us are not free, then none of us are free. And so when I think of what's happening in the Ukraine, I definitely had a connection with that because I grew up as a child of the 60s and knowing that pain and struggle and that we're still going through it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like I said, some of us going through it, we're all going through it. We are, and there's a definite connection. There's definite connection when we hear about anti-Semitism and any kind of, hate that's going around because we've lived that. So we know that pain. That's a familiar pain. You know, when we see that, so we should never overlook that. And so I'm not going to get too heavy with the show, but I definitely have to, there's a message that is going to permeate and it's going to be the kind of underscore while we sit and enjoy some great music. You know, there's going to, I'm going to slip a message in there. Don't get me to start preaching.
Come on now.
Ain't nothing wrong.
We may be asking for your cash app, brother. We may be asking for a cash app offering tonight. Don't worry about it. Be prepared to get it.
Man.
Oh, be prepared to get it.
Once you have that burden, man, it has to come out and come out in such a creative way, because even kind of looking at, you know, I wanted to have you touch a little bit on the tribute that you're going to be doing with Richard Smallwood, you know, the tribute to him. I want you to talk about that, but even just the magnitude of preparation, because it's a 64-piece orchestra and 150, you know, multicultural, you know, choir. So just what does that even look like from a planning, from a rehearsal? I can't even process that right now with all of those dynamics, but how long does it really take just to put that together and just to want to make sure it's done at the level that you're doing it?
It's months in advance. And then and I thank you for acknowledging that. One of the things that I pray on is that I'm able to find God's excellence, and as he directs me, please let me find that, touch me and let me do that. People who, and there's another thing I say, you know, when men walk around, you know, thinking how great they are, they're wrong. All right. I can prove that. All right. And I'll take a lot of wonderful accolades and this and that, but don't ever say you're great. No man is great. God is great. God allows us to have great moments. He allows us to have great moments. He allows us to do great things, but he is great and we're not great. We aspire to do many things, you know, and I can prove that many times over, you know, not only in my life, but the lives of others, you know. So, and so in that, my journey in this is, I'm searching for greatness. I'm searching, I walk in, and I pray that I walk in God's excellence. So with God's excellence, it tells me that I have to be prepared. I spend hours and hours. I'm up all night. Last night, you know, looking at this storyboard and looking on, and I have a chart with all the arrangements. I'll pull them up. You know, I'm working, I'm studying, because I'm going to be the most prepared guy in the room. We have a 64-piece orchestra, but all the people in the orchestra, they're all professors and high achievers in their own right. So there's nobody's short on talent and skills. Everybody's highly skilled. And they come together with the right spirit. We've handpicked each and every one of them. And we've called every call of the 64 pieces. We made one by one. On my team, my wife Vivian, my right hand Janelle Grayson, Chew Entertainment, Tara Chamberlain. We have a great team of people that have been working with us, and so yes. You know, God has instructed us all to walk in excellence, and that's what we do.
Yeah, Ray, I'm sorry. I'm sure before I wanted to say that, is there ever a place where you were just sitting there in your lab and you get musically stuck? Like, have you ever gotten a place where, wow, I can't seem to figure out what this arrangement is going to be, and what do you do? And what's your technique of really stopping and say, okay, let me step away from this for a little bit and come back to it later? Or is it just, you know, Lord, just show me what's the next chord, what's the next arrangement?
Yeah, and that's happened. And I guess, and again, that happens when people sometimes get a little too stuck on themselves. So as soon as I get to a place, you know, I take, you know, let ego go, and you know, people get an inflated sense of self. So it's not all about what's in my head. God, like you said, touch me. You know, you'll show me where to go. Sometimes I need to take a walk around the block and hear his voice again and hear his instructions. You know, my steps are ordered, and that's the way.
Yes.
That's the way I walk. You know, so I never walk without instruction. All right, from God. He gives. If you listen, he's gonna tell you what to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I listen. He tells me what to do. And yes, I do come upon situations where, you know, there's a lot of question. It could be some, you know, some indication of turmoil somewhere. And my instruction is to just be still, and we're gonna figure this out. You know, now it does take some effort. It does also always take an effort, but it does require a still mind, and that's what I need to do.
Yeah,
that's how I do it.
Yeah, go ahead, Sherman.
No, I was just going to ask about the, you know, the Richard Smallwood, you know, that. So how important was it for you to, you know, in the midst of all of that, to say, hey, let me stick a pin here, let me commemorate this. You know, this is something that's important, and, you know, on such a wide scale. A lot of times when individuals have such a grand audience and a sold out venue, they're thinking about other things they can do for them, but you are taking this opportunity to honor and to do this. So talk a little bit about that.
Yes. And that Richard Smallwood is a man who's been touched by greatness, has had great moments, great compositions, and he's deserving of this recognition, that we could stop in front of this great audience. And as diversified as the choir is, so is the audience. We brought everybody to Carnegie Hall. It is such an honor. When I turn around, you know, while I'm conducting and look at the audience and see, it looks like, and for those of you on who are listening, and if you drive the train and you've ever rode in Manhattan during rush hour, and you 34th Street or 42nd Street, you will see everybody on that train car. Every ethnicity, every race, everybody, age group, everybody figures out how to get along. Well, we have all of that at Carnegie Hall on this night. And so with that, and to have that, take this time to honor Richard Smallwood and his contribution to American music. His contribution to American music. Gospel music is American music. That is homegrown American music. That is part of the wonderful musical tapestry that is American music. Gospel, jazz, R&B, these are all, you know, Black-rooted struggle music coming out of our struggle. And that we should share this with the entire world, and everybody appreciates it, and on this great venue. I'm so excited about this. Yes, so in the Richard Smallwood tribute, you know, we're going to do songs, and, you know, and I don't want to give away all of the sequence and stuff, but it's going to be very special.
Listen, I'll just let you know here, on the Collab Show, we always get a little bit of something that nobody else got. So if you drop a little gem, we're not going to tell nobody. Go ahead. But we don't want your wife to kill you. So we don't want you to get in trouble either.
Yeah, so, it's all good.
Yeah.
You got to have me play my keyboard here, you know. Hold on. So I'm going to set up so you can see it. I should have did this before. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get this. Oh, here we go. Y'all can see. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Well, I gotta let you know what is special. get me messing around here on this
Yeah,
piano.
listen. But what I did hear was to God be the glory.
Well, it's gonna be glorious, and
Wow.
it's
Wow.
everything, you know. I have fun here, you know,
Yeah.
with you know, I'll tell you what, I want to share with you that I have had you know, amongst many of the wonderful years I've had in the industry, this year has been coming out of the pandemic and all that. We've been wonderfully blessed, doing Dance with the Stars and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day
Yeah,
Parade
you
and
guys did
Which
that.
was
Yeah.
awesome. I saw
Christmas.
the Macy's Day Parade.
And
It was
That was
beautiful.
amazing.
It
I've
was
never
beautiful.
physically been there, but I saw it and I
I
was like,
watched it.
wow,
It was absolutely
amazing. The whole
incredible.
family was lined up watching that.
Yeah.
and the 4th of July, I scored the music for Macy's 4th of July,
Wow.
the
Wow.
fireworks. It's been a wonderful year. And the reason why I brought that up is not to shine light on myself, but to say that with all the wonderful things that God has shared with me and allowed me to do, I'm just happy to be able to share this with everybody else. You know, if I have $1 billion, it's no fun unless others can enjoy it with you, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, who sits in a house with $1 billion by themselves? No, yeah,
My
that's
goodness.
not how you enjoy life, you know. So I enjoy making all these, you know, making music. I enjoy, you know, and so sometimes there are a lot of things that happen at the same time, and the journey gets thick. But I tell you, I never tire because my source is always touching me. He gets me up. If whether I got 3 hours of sleep or 4 hours of sleep or 5 hours, I never tire. I never tire. I'm always a happy worker, you know, because this is my mission's been given to me. I've been ordained. I've been blessed. I've been anointed and appointed. Don't get me to start preaching, y'all. Come on.
Listen, I told you we're going to get you to put your cash app on here before the night's over.
Wow.
So Ray, you and I are similar in certain directions. I'm not at the level of the excellence musical wise, but that classical background and that diversity of music. I mean, I was listening to the Allman Brothers, and people thought, you know, that was who were they, you know? And I'm a little kid. How am I a little kid listening to? I mean, my mother's watching these sitcom shows and stuff, but I'm hooked on the Allman Brothers, and I'm hooked on Cher, and then I'm invited to by my biology teacher, who was a lover of classical music, to the Academy of Music. I've got to see Jesse Norman. I've got to see all of these sopranos, and I've got to see Pavarotti. So the melting pot of the inclusiveness of the gift of music is just something that, as you said in the beginning, and I'm so glad you said that, we are one people. We just, this thing of diversity was never intended by God.
That's
But
right.
we were all given a gift that if we take the time to celebrate that gift that each of us brings to the table, which is why I love the Night of Inspiration. You are bringing courses of music from all genres all to one big table at Carnegie Hall. What is that like? Like when you first thought about this, when you and your wife Vivian Chew, shout out to her once again, and Station Break. If you are joining us right now here, we have the incredible Ray Chew right here on Indigo Inspire Live with myself and Sherwin Williams from Gospel Music Buzz. And so please make sure you follow us on Instagram, Ray Chew Live, Vivian Chew, Chew Entertainment. This is a Chew night tonight. When you are thinking about that, what was the first, can you give us an idea, take us back a little bit. When did you want to really, the idea came to mind?
I tell you, it was and I'll also have to give like you said, a shout out to my wife and partner Vivian Chew, who, you know, a lot of the ideas, you know, she had in her spirit and she shared, and we came together and we just started saying, you know, let's do this, let's try that. And then the partnership with Carnegie Hall meant a lot because they brought us in as part of their team, and they said, hey, we're gonna we're going to partner up with you to do this night of inspiration the way you want it. Because, you know, when we first had an idea, it started significantly smaller.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, let's do a concert at Carnegie Hall, and I guess it was, and I had to step up and say, well, if I'm going to do a concert at Carnegie Hall, it is going to be with an orchestra. And everybody in the room got still. It's like, ooh.
Say what?
The room got real still then. And then, but then Vivian, she's full support. She said, yes, that's what we have to do. And then piece by piece, they came, they stepped up, and then others stepped up. This is certainly not without the support of a sponsorship. This night is not possible without sponsor. It's a very costly show. All right. The orchestra alone costs a lot. The ticket prices we specifically waged so that that we would make sure our community would be accessible to Mama Thornton and Brooklyn and people like that and people I grew up in Harlem and the Bronx. I want them to feel that they could go on and make this show and not and bring two others or something. And so we made sure that the ticket prices were accessible, and certainly by the standards of the way people are charging for shows now, like this is pretty modest, all right?
Yeah.
And so, but with that, the show exceeds what the revenue of the ticket price. So I'll share what that is. So our sponsors come on and assist us in meeting our goals. Vivian and I, we do not undertake this as a huge money making venture. I would love it to be, but this has certainly been one from our heart and spirit. Yeah. And so with that, it's so important that we get the programming right. And I said, if I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this at at a personal price, then I'm going to do it the way we really feel. Like I said, my steps have been ordered. So yes, an orchestra, and then we said mass choir. And I'll tell you, the first time we did it, I had 350 people in the choir, and they shot me down. They shot me down to well, we can't have all those people on the stage. It got me down to 250. And then they said, well, the first time we did it, they said, well, you can only have 100 people, 150 people in the choir on stage. I was like, because the fire codes or something like that. So I figured out how to get another 100 and plus.
Listen, you better work it. You better work it. You better work it.
They was talking about me because they was like, oh, what do you do? So I I had people lined up around the back.
You know what?
Listen,
sir, make that thing work.
I mean, and my wife and partner, she was with me all the way. So, but again, we're happy to do this, and we're excited. The biggest beneficiary of this that night is me. When I sit up there and I drink in all of the love and spirit, it fills me. It fills me like nothing else can fill me. And especially when I hear the entire audience holding hands and singing total praise. Whoa. We're talking about, yes, you see that happen in our churches, but you don't see it happening in a venue like this with people from different faiths and cultures. They're all embracing each other, singing total praise. Whoa.
It's going to be so sweet. Well, I think when you have an opportunity to, I'm assuming that Richard will be in the building that night.
Yeah, well, Richard is in, he's been having some health issues.
Okay.
And so we're not sure whether he's going to be able to attend. We've been communicating with him. I know he's making an effort. And I know that, his spirit is there. I think, if not his body in the place, he will still be there in spirit or body.
Yes. to be able to experience that either in person, or he'll just get the recording of what that whole experience is going to be like. And this, I'm really trying to put into words what I'm assuming and anticipating is what's going to happen. There will not be a dry eye in the place.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd imagine. I think, like I said, if as spirits will guide all of us, that's where it takes us. It's going to take us where it's going to take us, and there we
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Wow. Well, sure, I'm going to turn with you before, because I know Ray's got so much work to do, and I want to make sure that.
Yeah, exactly. No. I mean, I know we're pretty much up on time, but I mean, even though I've never met Ray in person, as I'm sitting and just listening, the one thing is for sure is just that joy, that excitement, that just love for what you do. I mean, that is such a refreshing thing to see, and I can't wait to be, because I don't think I've been to Carnegie Hall before, kind of taking anything. So this will probably be my first visit to Carnegie Hall, so I'm looking forward to it on that sense, and just to take in, and just to see everything that's been happening, and just to be able to take a moment in the midst of all of that, and just just be a part of it. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Again, a night of inspiration is going to be happening this weekend, this Saturday. It's going to be 8 p.m. It's going to be kicking off. You want to be there. You want to show up early. Show up early so y'all can be seated, so everything can happen properly. Don't try to run in there, because when it's going, they're gonna make you wait outside until certain parts of
Listen,
so,
and they will,
because you can't be interrupting. So we're excited about that. But before we even go, I want Patrice to share briefly. There's a story that when she interviewed Erica Campbell at the red carpet at the Stellar Awards, Erica said something, and when we saw Erica on the bill, Patrice reminded me about that. So Patrice, real quick, share what that story was.
So I had the opportunity at the Stellar Awards in the media room, and as each artist will come out, in the back, for questions, that kind of thing. You know the drill. And so I had an opportunity to ask her, with all the accolades that she's received, from awards and her songs and everything being in the Smithsonian and induction, all the kind of stuff, did she still have any dreams left? What was still her dream? And she paused and said she did, and one of her dreams was to be able to sing at Carnegie Hall. And she had just received an invitation, I think shortly before that, to be singing at Carnegie Hall. So when I saw that she was going to be at Carnegie Hall, I didn't know when, where, in what capacity she was going to be there. And when I saw her going to be at the Night of Inspiration, that clicked back to me like, wait a minute, I had just asked her at the Stellar Awards in June, or July, what was that, what was her bucket list? Did not know that the God who orchestrates connections and divine, just scenarios, that I would be there that night for the person who asked her the question, for her to be there, and that I would have an opportunity now to see her dream fulfilled.
Yeah.
And
beautiful
it's so incredible how when we just let God just be God, when we really do love what we do. And Ray, I mean, like Sherman says, I've never met you personally, and I would love to, and can't wait to meet your wife. But what is exuded through the screen, and I hope every one of you who are watching this can feel, and will watch in the replay, is such a joy for what you do, that you haven't gotten tired. And I know that there have been times and moments you've thought to yourself, am I crazy? Did I go too far? Or is this really real? Is this really meant for me? And I'm sure these are conversations that you've had, you and your wife, together and also separately, about this thing called the music industry. But what I still see is a man who still, even through the screen, I still see a twinkle in your eye when you talk about music. I see a twinkle in your eye when you talk about your wife and the partnership that you have. So I just want to just thank you so much for, you could have been talking to anybody on a Wednesday evening, but it has been such an honor. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and I know Sharon does too, to be able to talk to you tonight, to say thank you Thank you for not thinking that, you know, your resume was too big to come and join two, you know, unknown media people to be here on Instagram. But wow, I can't wait to meet you and just to say
Yes.
thank you in person. I really mean that.
Yes, we were excited. We were excited to be there on Saturday, and I'm sure everyone else too. And again, yes, thank you so much, and we can't wait to immerse ourselves in what's to come this weekend.
Oh, listen, bruh, listen. If you see one girl back there with her hands up like this, and I done throw my hand, you can say, "Oh, there's Patrice. There's Patrice. There's Patrice. There's Patrice." Hey, you can tell your wife, "Honey, that's Patrice."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks again,
Yeah.
man. We appreciate
Yeah.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank
you.
So,
We enjoyed the rest.
Ray, we want to make
Go
sure
ahead.
people know how to follow you on Instagram. So, your Instagram handle is Ray Chew Live, Chew Entertainment. Vivian Chew is your wife's Instagram handle. So please make sure, those of you who are watching, please make sure you follow them and support their music. You hear his heart, you know everything they're putting into it, and to experience it, I'm just excited. My husband's coming. My husband doesn't come to anything.
Oh,
He's just,
wow.
he doesn't come to anything. I mean, he's, you know, the music scene is not his scene. But when I told him about this night and I said, you know, I have an opportunity for you to come, he says, "Oh, I'm going." So my husband's coming. I know Sherwin's bringing his wife, so it's going to be a beautiful
We're
night.
looking forward.
So
Indeed
if
it
nothing
is.
else, to Ray and Vivian Chew, thank you for making this date night. Thank you for.
Let's go. Thank you guys again. Have a great one.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Hey, Sherwin, before we sign off, we want to make sure everybody follows you on Instagram at Gospel Music Buzz on all your social media. And please make sure you follow Patrice the Listener on Indigo Inspire Live here on Instagram and Indigo Inspire on Twitter, Facebook, as well as, you know, on all of our platforms. So anything you want to say before we go?
No, I mean it's been amazing. It's been an amazing week just in general, because I know, you know, we didn't talk about it before, but I was telling you I was at this amazing humanitarian event last night, and that was just awesome. It's an amazing experience just all across the board. Just kind of seeing what everyone is doing there, and just, you know, the impact that they're making, and then even hearing what, you know, what Ray was talking about just now too, about just, you know, not looking at race, not looking at anything, but just looking at the soul, looking to touch souls, looking to touch hearts, looking to make a difference. So I'm just super excited just to, you know, just to get there, you know, just to enjoy it, just see all that's to come. Because I mean, just the 64-piece orchestra alone, that song in that room, I know it's just gonna be amazing. So that's gonna be great.
Listen, when I think about
Molly, yes, we're hoping to see you there as well.
Yes, absolutely. When I think about the days of when I would go to hit the Academy of Music, and it's sort of a smaller, it's sort of on that same scale, the Carnegie Hall, and just to see the conductor come, you know, stand up, and he begins to just hold his baton, and then the first strings of just kind of, you know, making sure they're tuned, which they already did anyway, but just, and then when that first swing, man, if you just hear of one voice go, "Oh, that's me. That was me."
But that's the feel you get, because even when I used to go to a lot of Broadway shows before, just hearing that orchestra at the Broadway, you know, in the Broadway show, and then I went through, like you were talking before, like, you know, I've went through, you know, moments where I was, you know, heavily just listening to, you know, Italian opera, like the Three Tenors, Andrea Bocelli, you know, Sarah Brightman. So like those are like, I've had stacks of CDs when I was in college, just listening to it, you know, and it was just, there's just something about music, about good, wholesome, solid music, that it just, like you say, it reaches in and just touches the soul. So just, you know, it's going to be truly amazing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and can't wait for sure. So we got a few days, and it's going to be all awesome. That's going on.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, look, I'm so blessed to be a member of the choir again. Phenomenal.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Nice.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yes.
Well, everybody, you know, thank you so much for being here on our special edition of the Collab Show here on Indigo Inspire Live. Thank you for supporting what we're doing here. Thank you to my brother, my friend, Sherwin Williams from Gospel Music Buzz. Make sure to follow him on all his platforms. Oh, you forgot to mention about your Spotify and what's going to be to the holiday.
Yes, yes. We launched a buzzing holiday music Spotify playlist where, you know, it started off with just having an IG post where I'm asking people, you know, hey, talk about some of your favorite Christmas songs, and everyone populated almost like 45 songs, and then we went ahead and we added a few more. But yeah, check us out on Spotify, Gospel Music Buzz. We have an amazing holiday playlist there, and then of course I mentioned earlier that we're doing the Message of Cheer campaign as well, and that's going to be, you know, releasing videos every day, you know, short 2 to 5 minute videos where someone is just sharing, you know, what does the Christmas holiday, Christmas meaning to them, and just, you know, giving some cheers and just sharing their stories. So just again, connecting, being human, and just, you know, enjoying the rest of the holiday season.
Absolutely, absolutely. So everyone, well, we thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Next week we will be back. There's a special edition. There's an Indigo Inspire edition. Haha. Of the Collab Show next week that's coming. So we'll talk some more about that, and you'll see that more in our promos next week. So in the meantime, everybody have a great night. God bless you. Be safe this holiday season. And once again, if you haven't heard it before, it's not just a vibe here, baby.
It's the whole mood.
Have a great night.
I have a good one. Later.
Later.